Hi, my name is Ben Zolno, and I'm working with the International Permaculture Day in conjunction with OccupyEducated.org and NewMessageMedia.com. Today we're talking with Joshua Konkankoh about his amazing organization, Better World Cameroon. And I've had the honor of being able to talk to him for the last half an hour about what his organization does. I'm going to give you some highlights here so that we can get going more into the insight of what Joshua sees on the ground. Joshua was in journalism and was working with the government, but felt kind of a calling because he saw that there's a big gap between the old and the young in the country. The young wanted to largely leave because older people in the government weren't doing and still aren't doing largely what's right for the government, or rather, right for the environment. So the farming in Cameroon, as I understand, was traditional use for organic type agriculture, but the government is introducing chemicals and GMOs into the system, and farmers are struggling with that along with climate change and not understanding why they now supposedly need to go to the market to buy GMO seeds when they can just work with those that they've saved on their own. Joshua started Better World Cameroon with other nature lovers and nature lovers in Cameroon that constituted a grassroots NGO. They put in place a new system of sustainable farming and proper land use through sustainable agriculture practices constituted in permaculture design. They're committed to playing a crucial role in improving the art of living with nature and human well-being in Cameroon and beyond. So some of their goals are they're developing local sustainable agriculture strategies for mitigating the food crisis and extreme poverty that utilize indigenous knowledge systems. They initiate and assist the process of establishing a vibrant, socially conscious, economically and environmental sustainable culture. They address environmental challenges to safeguard their national heritage, and they're building institutional capacity. So Joshua was just telling me about their Together for a Better World camp. They're using their property over there and their community as a resource center, trying to expand the practices of permaculture in Cameroon, a youth apprenticeship program, a demonstration site for renewable energy technologies, being a model for food sovereignty, and working with groups everything from orphans to the government to mitigate the climate crisis. So that's a rather lengthy introduction, but it's shorter than the half an hour conversation that we just had. So that was my attempt there. So Joshua, I wanted to ask you through all this, what are the top three challenges that you see the need for Better Cameroon to help address in Cameroon?
Yes, there is the problem of desertification. The desert is advancing, and the trees are being cut down in the south, all because of uh, uh, over exploitation of the forest. There is a real danger that the whole country will become desert. And when you talk of Africa, you are talking of extreme poverty, young people who can't feed themselves, who can't go to school. So all this, we're trying to use International Permaculture Day to introduce our own concept of permaculture, because we have realized that it's about reconnecting the young people with the land and with their culture, with their roots. So we could go back into using some indigenous knowledge that is available, uh, and combining it with science. So the real challenge is to get this information across, because Cameroon, we are still very far behind as far as communication technology is concerned. So it's also a time that we use that day also to call on to the world for some form of international solidarity that really works. I will not go into the aid issue, because I think the problem is not pouring money into Africa or into Cameroon. It's about actually adapting solutions. That's why we use the International Summer Work Camp, the Together for a Better World International Summer Work Camp, which comes up every year in the month of August in Cameroon. and we have young people from the West coming down to exchange and to find common solutions, discuss their various experiences. And I think this is working. From the experience we have had in the past, we've been working with other African NGOs in Nigeria and in the Central African sub-region, trying to find our own solutions. But then we also discover that it is good to share with what is happening elsewhere. It's not a question of inventing wheels when the wheels already exist. We want to be able to link up with other international NGOs dealing with permaculture so we can be able to contribute and to share what our experience here in Cameroon.
And what are some of the successes that you found so far from your work working with NGOs and working within your own organization?
Well, it's been interesting to see that youth apathy, unemployment, it's about the system of education. So we've come up with group of qualified, self-motivated, and committed graduates who have taken up permaculture, learned permaculture, and actually coming up with solutions. We now have young people who do flowers, potted flowers for sale, and market gardening. And they are working with the community city council to develop their own concept of urbanization, which is quite interesting. So it's been very important for us to know that young people, once given the chance, will come up with surprising solutions for sustainability, because they are the ones who have gone to school. They are the ones who can actually adapt what their parents are doing and not doing so well with what should be, because we have knowledge. They know what climate change is. They can explain it in the countryside, and they know why we shouldn't use chemicals. And that, it's been very interesting working with young people.
And you were saying, as maybe a final word to the people to think about for International Permaculture Day, you were talking a little bit about people in Cameroon knowing about pollution, knowing climate change, and other people not having access to the internet or that kind of knowledge at all. So I think you wanted to bring that up, right?
Yes, that's what I'm really talking about. The government hasn't because of corruption, the politics does not give room for young people. So there is youth apathy. And I think one of the solution why we came up with the Together for a Better World summer work camp was to get young people to be able to learn from what is happening elsewhere. And the young people are actually realizing that it's not that they don't have, but that if the right information is given and they can access information like any other person, they would be able to find their own solutions. So I think the real problem is just connecting people, and then international solidarity would work.
You were mentioning an image before about getting hands together if this is going to be a big boat that we're all in. Getting all hands on deck. Then people need access
Yeah,
to the
you're
same
referring
kinds
me
of.
back to the image that we had in designing our logo,
Mhm.
which has a white hand and a black hand supporting the Mother Earth, which is the delicate heart. We all have this heart to save Mother Earth. And if we are all sitting in the same boat, we have the same fate. If this boat drowns, it's all of us. So it is important that we should be able to the resources of the world, I'm afraid to say, are being used to barricade us from our opportunities of the global citizenship we all want.
Mhm.
So it's a problem of linking up Africa. I believe that we have lots to contribute to solving all the global issues that we all face. And so it's only through connectivity that we can get to share.
Great. Well, thank you very much for speaking out here for International Permaculture Day. It is a good opportunity for a lot of people to get involved and to learn quite a bit. You can learn more at betterworld-cameroon.com and also go to our website to visit us for International Permaculture Day. Joshua, thank you very much for your work. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to get the world talking. We hope a lot will come out of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.